voices control the choices that you make and start walking in integrity and purpose and self-respect. You gotta know who you are, right? First thing, identity. Identity is the foundation of manhood, knowing who you are, right? If you don't know who you are, the world will tell you who to be. If you don't know who you are, the world will tell you who to be. A real man starts by knowing his worth, knowing his values, and knowing his purpose, right? When you know who you are, you stop living to impress others and you start living to become the best version of yourself. That's the whole point of this life, to become the best version of you, not only for you, but for the people that's around you, the people that God is calling you to impact, your future children, your future wife, your mom, your dad. When you become the best version of yourself, then you become better for everybody around you, right? Number 2, stop letting the crowd control who you are. It's a lot of kids at y'all schools, and I know y'all probably see them. They do a lot of stuff that they shouldn't be doing, hang with a lot of kids they shouldn't be hanging with, but they do it because everybody else doing it, right? Too many young men let the opinions of others steer their decisions. But remember, the crowd never faces the consequences. They can try to tell you, hey, come on, man, let's go do this, let's do that. And then you end up doing it, and now you're in trouble, and guess what a crowd is? They gone. They doing whatever they doing. And now you're left to suffer the consequences of following the crowd, right? Doing the right thing when nobody's watching defines your character. When you can do what's right, even when you're by yourself, that's called integrity. Integrity means doing what's right, even when nobody will know. That's just like you going and you got an opportunity, you're doing your test, right? Yeah. And you got an opportunity to cheat. And you say, you know what? I'm not gonna cheat on this test because it's not right. Even though I know that I won't get caught, and even though I know nobody sees me, I'm gonna do right because I know God is always watching, right? Your reputation is what people say about you, and your character is who you are when the doors are closed and nobody's around. That's the real you, when nobody's around. And you want to do everything you can to make sure you're being the best that you can for yourself, outside of anybody else. And when you're doing everything you can to be the best for yourself, other people are going to see it. Other people are going to notice it. And they're going to say, oh, man, that's a great young man over there. Yeah, he's always, you feel me? So y'all got to remember, doing the right thing when no one's watching defines your character. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is temporary, but the consequences is long term, right? And what I mean by that is, say you with your buddies, right? Yeah. And they say, hey, come on, man, let's go do this, let's go do this. You know it's not right,
no,
right? But because of peer pressure, and you don't want to be the kid that, oh man, he's scary, he don't never want to hang with us. So you want to do what everybody else doing because of the peer pressure, right? And then y'all go do something that you know you're not supposed to be doing, and you end up getting in trouble, right? But this trouble lasts longer than the 5 minutes that you was getting in trouble. Now you done something, and now it's down 3 or 4 years down the road, and you're still having to deal with something that 5 minutes of temporary peer pressure down the road. So anytime you know what the right thing to do, always do the right thing. It don't matter who's around. It don't matter who's trying to peer pressure you to say, oh man, come on, we ain't gonna get caught. It's gonna be. No, always do the right thing, even when nobody's around, because in the long term, you're gonna be the one that didn't get in trouble. You're gonna be the one. So always remember that, right? Peer pressure is temporary. That 5-second decision to look cool can turn into 5 years of regret. think before you act. The people that's hyping you up, come on, man, we can do it, man. The people that's hyping you up now won't be the ones sitting next to you when it's time to face the consequences. They're going to be gone. Matter of fact, they might even start lying. Like, man, he lying. No, he wasn't with us. We wasn't with him. And you like, bro, he the one told me to go. And you like, man, he lying. But because you're the only one got caught, who you think they're going to believe? The other person. They didn't catch him. They caught you. Even though he's the one that wired you up to do it. That's why doing what's right all the time, you won't get caught up in those mixes like that. Because soon as they start trying to tell you and show you, you think, no, this not right. And you immediately say, nah, I'm good. I'm not doing that. And you walk away. Oh, man, here. Don't worry about what they say, right? Because you know who you are. So don't worry about, oh, man, he's scary. He a punk. He don't want to do it. I sure am. You absolutely right. And keep on going, right? Stand alone if you have to, right? Strength is built in solitude. I heard an old saying that said, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Some people can't do the hard stuff. That's why the right noble, the right way to go, it's not a lot of people on that highway. It's a narrow road, right? The highway to hell is wide open, and it's a lot of people going. So sometimes being a man means standing alone, meaning you're standing alone because you know what's right and you know you're going to do what you're supposed to be doing, right? But standing alone for what's right builds strength while following others into wrong weaknesses your soul. Because if you're steady following people, right, and you know that you're not supposed to be doing this, but they're all telling you, come on, man, it's okay, bro. We ain't going to get caught, man. Especially you two, right? William and Everett, Watt. Y'all two mainly, because y'all in 7th grade right now, man. It's a lot of kids, 7th grade, 8th grade, and I know y'all see it. They do a lot of stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. And they're gonna try to peer pressure you because everybody wants to look cool. Everybody wanna be tough. Listen, bro. Know what the right thing to do. And how do you know what the right thing to do? They're gonna tell you. Listen to them. Listen to your mom. Listen to your dad. They're gonna tell you what the right thing and the wrong thing is to do. And all you gotta do is take what they said and stand on it. Don't listen to your buddy because he's saying something. Remember what mama said. Because when it all boils down, they're the only ones that's gonna be in your corner, that's gonna have your back. You hear me? Every choice you make shapes your future. Mosquitoes starting to come out.
Yeah.
Listen, every choice you make shapes your future. Every decision that you make is a brick in the foundation of your life. So if you're making a bunch of bad decisions, you're making a big brick house of bad decisions, right? Choose wisely, because one wrong move can tear down what took years to build. Real men think beyond the moment. So that means even though you're young, you still got to think about, where do I want my life to be at when I get a little bit older? What do I want to be doing in my life? And whatever those things are, you need to start actually working towards them now, right? And you can start figuring it out on the way. Don't trade your future for a moment of acceptance. And what do I mean by that, right? The approval of your friends, when they approve, yeah, that's cool, come on. It only lasts for a moment, right? But your freedom, your dreams, and your name, those last a lifetime. So make sure you're choosing your legacy over being cool. Everybody want to be cool, but sometimes you got to break the rules and you got to do what everybody else doing so you can be cool. But you're cool all by yourself, without getting in trouble, without talking back, turning your work in on time, doing your homework, following rules in class. That's cool, right? Don't know what you stand for, or you will fall for anything, right? Without principles, meaning without knowing who you are, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, without principles, you will follow every trend. You see kids doing this, so you're going to follow them. Then now they doing this, then you're going to follow. You got to know who you are. You got to have some principles for your own life. Stand on truth. Stand on integrity. Stand on faith. And no situation can shake you, no matter what's going on. When you got faith in God and you stay trusting in God, it don't matter how hard it gets, because you know that God is going to use any situation to help you be a better person. So when things get hard, say, okay, cool. What do I need to learn from this situation? What do I need to figure out? But you got to always make sure you're doing what's right, right? Be the example. You got to make sure you're being the example and not the follower, right? Leadership isn't about age, it's about courage. Be the one who changes the atmosphere and not the one who gets changed by it. Be the one who changes the atmosphere and not the one who gets changed by it. And what I mean by that is, if you go into a room, right, and you see some kids doing some stuff that you know that they're not supposed to be doing, the way that you change the atmosphere is you go in the room, you see them, and you say, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm going to go over here and do what I'm supposed to do. That is how you change the atmosphere, because you turn into a leader instead of being a follower, right? Last one.